A good day to everyone watching. I am Arlene Elpigal.
I am Sofia Castillo.
I'm Christine Abing.
And I am Lorenzo Malyar.
I'm Jean Irish Lakap.
And I am Francine Lauron. We are Group 2 from the Archdiocese of Zamboanga.
Here to present to you our second part of the case study on Ivana Halave.
Based off a set of questions, our critical thinking skills were put to the test.
We tried our best to show what we've learned as a senior high school student in APM Strand.
Without further ado, here is our perspective on the case study of Ivana Halave. Suppose that Halave used her own maintenance crew to build an additional wing on her existing facility. What would be the proper accounting treatment of the following items?
A. Architect's fees.
In this case, expenses that are necessary for the constructions, the amounts are capitalized, meaning that they are added to the overall cost of the building itself.
Cash discounts earned from prompt payment on materials purchased from construction.
In a scenario wherein cash discounts are involved, there are two ways to record it: the net method and the gross method. The net method involves recording the discounted price as is, and the gross method records the discounted price along with the amount discounted.
D. Interest on money borrowed to finance construction. For borrowing costs, factors are directly related to the asset. In this case, money to finance construction. It will also be capitalized, or in other words, the amount will be added to the total cost of the building.
Letter F. The cost of mistakes made during construction.
For mistakes made during construction, there are multiple possibilities like inaccurate allocation of overhead, erroneous change orders, improper treatment of joint ventures, inaccurate job estimates. The following approach can be done.
The overhead costs of the maintenance department that includes supervision, depreciation on buildings and equipment of maintenance department shops, heat, light, and power for these shops, and allocations of costs for such items as the cafeteria, medical office, and personnel department. For overhead costs, the following format for entries can be used. The cost of insurance during construction and the cost of damages or losses on any injuries or losses not covered by insurance.
Last for question number 1. At the end of any accounting period, the number of insurance premiums that remain prepaid should be reported in the current asset account.
Number 2. Suppose Halave purchased a new machine. It is clear that the invoice price of the new machine should be capitalized, and it also seems reasonable to capitalize the transportation cost to bring the machine to the facility.
The new machine is heavier than the old machine it replaced. Consequently, the foundation under the machine has had to be strengthened by the installation of additional steel beams. Should this cost be charged to the building, added to the cost of the machine, or expensed, and why?
The installation of the steel beams should be added to the cost of the building. I think it should be charged to the building because the steel beams were used for the improvement of the building and are connected to the building itself. Therefore, those steel beams should be charged to the building because it will become a part of the building itself despite it not being there in the first place.
The installation of the machine took longer and was more costly than anticipated. In addition to the time spent by the regular maintenance crew on installation, it became necessary to hire an outside engineer to assist in the installation and in working out the bugs to get the machine running properly. His costs included not only his fee but also his transportation, hotel expense, and meals. Moreover, the foreman of the department and the plant superintendent both spent a considerable amount of time assisting in the installation work. Before the new machine was working properly, a large amount of material had been spoiled during the trial runs. How should all of these costs be treated and why?
All costs including professional fee, transportation expense, hotel expense, meals and entertainment, repairs and maintenance, where it brings the asset to intended use is to be capitalized. As stated by the IAS 16 and PAS 16, it says that initial measurement, an item of property, plant, and equipment should initially be recorded at cost. Cost includes all costs necessary to bring the asset to working condition for its intended use. This would include not only its original purchase price, but also cost of site preparation, delivery and handling, installation, related professional fees for architects and engineers, and the estimated cost of dismantling and removing the asset and restoring the site.
In addition to the invoice price and transportation, it was necessary to pay a state sales tax on purchasing the machine. Is this part of the machine cost? Why?
Based off of my own opinion, I think the state sales tax should be included in the cost of the machine. Even though the tax is not included in the formulation of the price for the machine, it is still part of the final price the buyer will need to pay, which is why it should be included with the cost of the machine. In connection with payment for the new machine, the machine manufacturer was willing to accept Halave's old machine as partial payment. The amount allowed as a trade-in was larger than the depreciated value at which the old machine was being carried in the books of Halave's company. Should the difference have been treated as a reduction in the cost of the new machine or a gain on the disposal of the old one, and why?
I think the difference can be treated as reduction in the cost of the new machine Halabe purchased, even though she gave away an old machine as partial payment. This also meant that she didn't have to pay as much cash. By paying with the old machine, she was able to save her business a significant amount of cash.
That is all for part 2 on Ivana Halave's case study.
Hopefully, our perspective gave you something to dwell on.
Again, we are Group 2
from the Archdiocese of Zamboanga.
We hope you learned something today.
As your aspiring entrepreneurs, thank you for watching.